You're not board certified, correct?
No, I'm not.
Not in clinical psychology or in forensic psychology, correct?
No, I'm a licensed clinical psychologist.
But you're not board certified?
No.
Okay. And you also have only been
Trust me,
practicing
guys, I don't need tomatoes. Oh, no. Top left busted. Top left busted. No. Top left busted. Top left busted.
Be on the board. Who gives a shit if you're on the board or not?
Is that correct?
That's not correct.
How many years?
I've been licensed for 10 years, and I've been practicing for about 15 years.
Okay. You went to Mr. Depp's home for dinner and drinks before you were hired as an expert in this case, correct?
That's not quite right. I was interviewed at...
Guys, I feel like she's... guys, I don't want to be weird. I think she's way more attractive and cool sounding than his fucking girlfriend. Motherfucker, if it was me, I'm not gonna say it.
Mr. Depp's home by his legal team. Dinner was served.
And the dinner lasted approximately 3 to 4 hours, correct?
Yes.
And it included
The interview.
drinks, correct?
Yes, dinner and I believe...
Guys, I would have dumped the witch and copped an upgrade. Don't care, I said it.
Drinks were served.
Okay. And don't you think that's a little odd that you're getting interviewed by Mr. Depp to decide whether you're going to testify adversely against Amber Heard?
I was interviewed by the legal team.
And Mr. Depp was present. It was his home, correct?
Yes.
And he was serving dinner and drinks.
He was
correct?
not serving dinner and drinks.
Well, it was at his house at his behest, correct?
Yes, it was at his house.
Okay.
What's it lagging for?
And at that time, you not only knew Johnny Depp, you'd seen a number of his TV and movie roles, and you...
Guys, what is fucking lagging?
This is the doctor who gave an exam of Amber Heard. This is worth watching her whole testimony. Will you watch her entire testimony on stream?
Believed he was a good actor, correct?
Not correct. I did not know Johnny Depp. I had
you
seen...
knew-
Oh, okay. It's chat. It's breaking it. Look, now it's gonna stop lagging.
You
See?
knew who he was.
Now it's not
Yes.
lagging anymore.
And you believed he was a good actor.
Moz, you guys know how to fix that? Where it's just glitched up. Like chat is draining the fucking it's just how do you fix that? Do I just open another chat in another tab and leave this one to save it?
Yes.
Correct? Okay. And then you provided an expert designation in this case before ever seeing Amber or having an opportunity to review any documents or records. Isn't that correct?
I did not provide an expert designation. That's an attorney thing. My opinions are contained in my report.
This was plaintiff's designation, identification of expert witnesses in this case. And this is dated February 2021. That's a year after you went to dinner at Mr. Depp's house, correct?
Guys, why aren't they doing like objections or whatever? Guys, isn't she just making a statement here? Guys, she's making a statement while looking at the jury, and then she ends up with a question mark.
Went to dinner at Mr.
How is
Depp.
that a question?
2021. That's a year after you went to dinner at Mr. Depp's house, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And it attributes, if you go to
Guys,
page
stop.
13,
Guys, you can't lag it.
it says you have 3 opinions. The first of those is that Amber Heard, quote, exhibits patterns of behavior that are consistent with co-occurring cluster B personality disorder traits, especially borderline personality disorder. Did I get that right?
I'm reading that here. That is not my opinion.
Okay.
Well,
but
it's a current
attributed-
opinion, but this was not an opinion of mine then. I didn't have any opinions at that time.
Are you aware that Mr.
my.
Depp is on an audio recording years earlier taunting Amber Heard that she has a borderline personality disorder?
I was made aware of that in this case, yes.
So you did is that
Actually,
one of the audio
not
tapes
necessarily
you listened to?
taunting, but I do recall hearing that Mr. Depp had used that phrase.
So it's a coincidence that you now think she has those attributes after the attorneys listed it in February 2021 before you'd looked
What?
at anything, and Mr. Depp had made that accusation to Ms.
That
Heard
is a
years
fucking
earlier.
stretch.
My opinions aren't based on
Jesus
coincidence.
Christ.
Objection. I'm sorry, Dr. Yes. Compound, I'll sustain the objection.
All right. It's a coincidence then that you came up with symptoms of borderline personality disorder years later after Mr. Depp has been taunting Ms. Heard in an audio tape. calling her
can't speak to whether or not there's a coincidence. What I can tell you is my opinions are based on the results of my evaluation.
Guys, she's good. Holy shit. Guys, I feel like somebody that isn't that smart would have gotten crushed by this. I know that the lawyer's wording it very weirdly, and it's kind of annoying of a question, and you're kind of like judging her for asking it. But I could definitely see a lot of people failing this and getting crushed under that fucking question for sure.
Now, would you agree that a disproportionate number of women are tagged with a diagnosis of borderline personality disorder?
No, that's not quite right.
And trauma can cause
Chat,
borderline.
because how do you dispel the fact that it's a coincidence and into the question at the same time? I think that was pretty hard.
Personality disorders, can't it?
Let me read back a little bit.
And trauma can cause borderline personality disorders, can't it?
No.
Now, you've never been asked to testify or serve as an expert with respect to whether someone has a bipolar disorder. Is that correct?
A bipolar disorder?
Yes.
That's not correct.
Okay.
Jesus.
Ms. Heard repeatedly and characterologically perpetuated severe physical and psychological intimate partner violence, IPV, toward Mr. Depp over the course of their relationship. End of quote. Did I read that correctly?
It says perpetrated, but other than that, yes.
Was it Ms.
Jesus.
Heard exhibits patterns of behavior that suggest her allegations of abuse against Mr. Depp are false? End of quote. Do you see that?
I see that. You said it's my third opinion. That is not my opinion.
All right. But in this pleading, it says that you will testify to that, correct?
Yes, that's what this says.
Okay. And that was not your opinion in February 2021, was it?
No, as I said, I had not formed any opinions at that time. I had just been retained.
And you answered at that time, no, correct?
That is correct.
And then I asked, have you ever arrived at that opinion in the time that you have served as an expert witness in this case? And your answer was, could you read that to the jury, please?
Yes. So no, it's not the task. I was cut off, or essentially what I said then was, no,
Dr.
that's
Curry,
not the task of Dash. That was never my task to determine. Can I say what that means?
No. And then the question is, so is it fair to say
No.
that you have never arrived at an opinion that, quote, now you also have never been asked to testify on whether an individual is being truthful in saying that they are a survivor of IPV. Is that correct?
Guys, how are we going to win a jury, right? If she has context for what she's saying, it's a good answer, and she denies the answer, even though she asked a question that you would like to have a good scope of answer for. Like, what the fuck is that? That is how you lose. What the fuck? Isn't that how the point to win the jury?
That's correct.
Okay. And you have never qualified as an expert to speak to whether a person suffered from IPV, intimate partner violence, or was a victim or survivor of IPV. Is that correct?
That's outside the task of a psychologist to determine whether an event occurred. We assess behavior, we assess mental status, we don't detect crimes.
So you have not been asked to testify to that, correct?
It's not something that occurs, so no, I have not.
Disclose in any of the designations or
Jesus. Guys, most of the questions can be found on Google. So why is she asking all this over there?
dinner and drinks with Mr. Depp, correct?
I did not disclose that I was interviewed by the legal team, no.
This
asked
is
a
a
different
Bing lawyer.
Are you trying to resist that you didn't have dinner with Mr. Depp and drinks?
I'm not trying to resist that, but it's not quite right.
You
What
did
you're
have dinner with
stating.
Mr. Depp, did you not?
I did, with
And
his
you had
legal
drinks
team
with
and
Mr. Depp, did you not?
And what?
You had drinks with Mr. Depp, did you not?
Drinks were served. This was over 2 years ago. I may have had a drink with dinner, yes.
And you didn't disclose that you had met with Mr. Depp, Mr. Waldman, Mr. Chu, and Ms. Vasquez at Mr. Depp's house for 3 to 4 hours and had dinner and drinks, correct?
She just
I
said
did
that.
not disclose that. It's not significant to the report.
You don't think that's significant, correct?
I don't.
And you said no, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, Heard is right and Mr. Depp is wrong, correct?
So as a forensic psychologist, my obligation is to the court, is to the fact finder. I
How is
present
she so good?
science regardless of what that science may be. Now, when I take a case, my retainer agreement is explicit about that, and I discuss
Dr.
that
Crew,
with the attorneys.
I'm asking you a question.
Guys, what the fuck? Guys, how is she so good? I don't get it. Is she fucking like
Try to answer my
Okay.
question. You understand that if you found favorably to Ms. Heard and negatively to Mr. Depp, you wouldn't
Yeah,
be
she's
here, right?
smurfing.
You wouldn't be testifying.
No, okay, sorry.
Hold on. The objection is speculation.
That's not speculation.
No, I'll sustain the objection if you want to ask.
Okay. If,
you knew this a long time? Yeah, but she's on her feet though.
it goes to bias, Your Honor.
I sustain the objection. Next question.
Okay, all right.
Guys, something I noticed a lot is that Amber Heard's lawyers they seem to contest and argue the judge a lot, and sometimes they win and they lose. But who does that shit?
You were, in fact, so excited about being involved in this case that you told your husband, even though this was a highly confidential matter,
They
that you were
they
going
try
to
it.
be conducting the examination of Ms. Heard, didn't you?
That is not accurate.
You not only told
Lawyers?
your husband,
No.
but you told Ms.
You don't argue-
Heard
no.
that you told.
I could be wrong. I don't want to cut it off, guys. You don't argue with the judge. Say objection, right? It's a wise objection. Then they sustain or they overrule, right? Right? But whenever she gives a decision, no, it's fucking sustained, overruled. They don't argue with it. They have a point. They can go up front and say why and whatever and explain, and sometimes they get away with it. But that's just weird. Correct?
Your husband, correct?
I'm saying correct.
Ms. Bredehoff,
It's gonna
that is
happen.
not accurate.
I'm being corrupted.
What is accurate?
I'm being corrupted.
You're incorrect. That is not correct.
Is your testimony today under oath that you did not tell your husband that
Wait,
you were
go back. I missed something.
Ms. Bredehoff, that is not accurate.
What is accurate that you told your husband, correct? You not only told your husband, but you told Ms. Heard that you told your husband, correct?
Ms. Bredehoff, that is not accurate.
What is accurate?
You're incorrect. That is not correct.
Is your testimony today under oath that you did not tell your husband that you were going to be conducting the examination of Amber?
That is my testimony.
Okay. So the question that was asked was because you brought muffins, you said, from your husband, right? You gave those to Ms. Heard, correct?
May I clarify what occurred so that we can stop talking about the muffins? What happened was that I was getting ready that morning. I frequently bring muffins to the office. My husband did happen to know that there was going to be a celebrity client coming in because on the mornings that occurs, which often occurs, we have to actually clear the office and move the staff to the other office. So yes, on the one hand, he was aware of that. I was getting ready. I asked him to go to the bakery near our house and pick up the muffins for me because I was running late. He often has to do that because I often do run late. He brought the muffins back to the house. I brought them into the office. Ms. Heard and I enjoyed the muffins together. I think I made a comment to her along the lines like, we can thank my husband, my husband got these for us today, meaning he purchased the muffins. We are now enjoying them because of him.
Guys, what? What's with the muffins? Guys, what's with the muffins? Were the muffins drugged or some shit like that? Were they laced? Did somebody die? What happened with the muffins?
Did you say on pages 305 and 306 that you frequently have examinations of high-profile clients? You want to just take a quick look and tell us?
What, 305, 306?
Yeah, that's where we're talking about it.
Is there a line you'd like me to look at?
You can start with 15, line 15, 305. Just read through that and tell me whether
I
you
get
said
it.
anywhere in there that you have
Confidentiality means that she told her.
examinations. You do this frequently.
I get it.
I don't agree.
I want you to approach, please.
Oh, she doesn't agree. Oh, wow.
Why did your husband get the muffins for Amber Heard?
He did not get the muffins for Amber Heard.
He knew you had a high-profile client, and you were preparing for a very long time, and you asked him to pick up the muffins, correct?
I asked him to pick up the muffins for me, yes.
Okay. You didn't diagnose. You didn't actually have.
Guys, she thinks that she got him. Yeah, she thinks that she just got him to her, right? She's like, ha, got him, dude. She thinks so, right?
DSM-5 diagnosis.
That's
that Amber
fucking.
Heard suffers from either borderline personality disorder or histrionic personality disorder, correct?
Holy shit.
That's not correct.
In fact, your report says Ms. Heard demonstrates psychological symptoms of a combined borderline and histrionic personality disorder. Would you agree?
Yes, I did say that in also what designation was that? I believe January 18th that report was included? Yes.
Okay. And that's what you said at that time, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I said a little bit more than that as well.
You said, and I'll read it, I'll quote it, quote, based on the combined results of my interview with Ms. Heard, behavioral observations, psychometric test data, and review of the available records, Ms. Heard demonstrates psychological symptoms of a combined borderline and histrionic personality disorder, BHPD. That's
Yes.
what you wrote in your report as one of your conclusions, correct?
And that's a DSM-5 diagnosis.
And it did not say that you were diagnosing with a DSM-5 for borderline personality disorder or histrionic personality disorder, did it?
That's what it says in different semantics.
Oh, so what you meant to say.
It did not use the words you just said.
So now we have an evaluation of Rocky Pennington
No,
from.
I just said that
reading
that was
comprehension?
not relevant to my opinion because I'm only evaluating Ms. Heard.
But you testified to that on direct that that was a factor, right?
Yes?
Okay. Well, wouldn't it make a big difference if Amber struck first or just responded back?
Given the dynamic, not necessarily. No, it would not have.
So now you're an expert on Rocky Pennington and her dynamics with Amber Heard. I'll withdraw.
Sustained.
Okay. And do you remember Dr. Cowan testifying that on another occasion, Amber sent him a text, Johnny beat me up pretty good last night, end of quote.
Again,
Not in this instance. She can rely on it. She testified.
Overrule.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. I didn't need to argue that hard, I guess. Do you recall that? In Bonnie Jacobs' notes, she documents
however, go ahead.
she documents multiple occasions that Amber Heard reports to her physical violence upon her by Mr. Depp, does she not?
There are several notes that indicate that Ms. Heard has reported violence by Mr. Depp, yes.
Many, correct?
I wouldn't qualify it as many. I'm
Guys-
not sure what you mean.
Guys, didn't you tell her earlier that that her job is to get the info that she's given and analyze the behavior and put that in it, and not to see if a crime has been committed or not? So whatever she's saying right now is completely useless given the answer she's been given earlier. So why is she even bothered with this shit?
By
How
many.
many would you say?
I don't know. I don't have the notes in front of me.
Now, you also said that you listened to audio tapes in this case, correct?
Yes.
Did you hear Mr. Depp admitting to headbutting Ms. Heard?
That is not what I heard.
You didn't hear that?
I heard a conversation about headbutting. I did not hear him, as you said, admit to headbutting Ms. Heard.
Okay, that's your characterization of it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see the video of Mr. Depp in the kitchen?
Yes.
He gets it.
Did Ms. Heard
Lord
imagine
doesn't.
that or create that, or was she responsible for that somehow?
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Okay. What, if any, impact did that have on your opinions watching Mr. Depp in that video?
I'm not sure it was one of many pieces of the exhibits and other collateral data that I considered. I'm not sure what the direct impact was or if that could be measured.
Do you recall
Damn,
Dr.
Jesus.
Blaustein referring to Mr. Depp having rage?
No, I actually recall him referring to Ms. Heard in that note.
Your testimony is that Dr. Blaustein was referring to Amber Heard as having rage?
I transcribed several of the notes, and I may be missing a time when I said that about Mr. Depp. The handwriting was very difficult.
Guys, is he like a therapist? Guys, if my therapist is gonna be like this smart, motherfucker, I mean, I have to get checked in, man. Holy shit, man.
To transcribe, but there was one instance in which I recall transcribing him
What, man?
stating that Mr. Depp reported that Ms. Heard had rage.
Now, Amber's medical examination, she was cooperative, correct?
Not the norm.
Her psychological, yes, she was cooperative and polite.
And in the 2 full days of examination, you felt she was polite and answered all your questions.
This lawyer is
except
off
in
the
one
hook, no
instance
cap,
where she
bro. What the fuck
furrowed
is this
her
lady
brow
on about?
when you were asking
No.
about
Wait, let me repeat this again.
except in one instance where she furrowed her brow when you were asking about friendships in high school, correct?
That's not correct.
All right, let's go to page 275. So we start on 274 with the, was she polite? You said yes. Was she cooperative? Yes.
I'm not a
Did she
celebrity.
answer your questions? For the most part, yes. This is, now we're on page 275.
Guys, I said this, guys,
And then my question.
I said before, I said it again. I don't want to downplay anything, guys. I'm not a fucking celebrity. No streamer is a fucking celebrity, and most big YouTubers are not celebrities. You wanna know why? Celebrity is somebody that is a mainstream. They're on TV. They're people know them without knowing them. People seen their movies. Guys, you guys know a bunch of actors you don't know by name, right? A bunch of them, right? Unless you are directly involved, right? Yeah, you guys know me. Yeah, I have this amount of followers, I go on the street, I'm a fucking nobody. I'm a nobody, and that will probably never change. Why? Because I'm not a fucking celebrity. In this realm, we're capped up. Guys, there's clout and there's fame. These guys are famous. I have some modicum level of clout. That's just how it is.
Question was, did she at any time become combative or unfriendly with you or angry? And your answer was, there was one instance in which she appeared annoyed and the posturing forward a bit, more assertive tone, furrowed brow, when I was questioning something, following up on data that had been inconsistent about friendships in high school. Other than that, she was very polite. Is that your answer at that time?
That was my answer at that time, and it's inconsistent with the question you had just asked me.
It's common for the perpetrator to essentially gaslight the victim, accuse them of being the perpetrator. Would you agree? That's exactly how it was asked in the deposition. So I'm
I understand it is a compound question. I'll sustain the objection.
And it's common for the perpetrator to essentially gaslight. I don't think that's, Your Honor, it's just,
Shut
I think
up,
it's just one
XQC,
question.
you are a celebrity.
Let me try
I'm
it.
just not.
To gaslight the victim, isn't it?
That's a characteristic
Guys!
of psychological.
Guys, listen. Let me explain what happens when you're a celebrity, okay? Let's say she has her office with her fucking muffins. Let's say Lady Muffins, okay? She has her muffins at the office, okay? Leonardo DiCaprio walks in. What do the fucking staff do? They go, oh, okay? Next morning, I have a rendezvous. I have a meeting with this girl. I open the front door. I walk in. What do the people do in the office when they see me? You know, that's what happens. That's the difference. These guys are famous. I'm not.
Okay, and it's
Jesus,
common
man.
then for them to accuse
Christ,
them
man.
of being the perpetrator, the victim.
That's a characteristic of abuse from women perpetrated against men. It's actually very, very common. About 90% of male victims of IPV have reported that
This
a female
psychologist
partner
is
who
a gig of
abuses them
Stacey with
makes
muffins.
threats to
Mr. Cow, I think you would
report
love therapy.
their partner.
Love you, Mr.
I'm watching this, man.
Chat.
I'm watching this.
Oh, no. Oh,
90%
yes,
of male
yes,
victims
yes.
of IPV have reported that a female partner who abuses them makes threats to report their partner as an abuser. It's less common for men to make that statement to female partners just because there's less potential consequence.
Damn, that was... Damn, dude. See? Guys, I feel like if you said that and you worded it poorly, people would get mad at this, right? But that was kind of BZ, but very well put.
It's actually very, very common. Yes.
Okay, and it's common then for them to accuse them of being the perpetrator, the victim.
That's a characteristic of abuse from women perpetrated against men. It's actually very, very common. About 90% of male victims of IPV have reported that a female partner who abuses them makes threats to report their partner as an abuser. It's less common for men to make that statement to female partners just because there's less potential consequence.
Jesus, man, that actually could apply to the case. I mean, but guys, now I'm biased. Guys, now if I watch more of this, guys, I'm biased towards the testimony, guys, because I like her. I like her. So whatever happens, whatever she says, I'm already biased on her side. That's not fair, man. What? It's not because she's hot. I mean, it helps. But I mean, fuck, man. Guys, man, human nature is so fucked, guys. It's too cooked. I guess I'm a victim of my own nature, man. What can I say, man? I mean, it does help, but you don't want it to help, but it does. But then you're like, I want to stay biased, unbiased, but then she's hot. Like, dude, what can you do? What can you do? I mean, if you're in a jury, what can you do also? You're bricked. Well, you can't do anything. This is just not right.
The XUC, it's for Mark from yesterday. Night I've been bullied all day by buddy TTs. What I tried to ask was if that one mods of Redimus could get a cut.
Could you state your full name for the record?
Dude. Yeah, how much, man? But that's fucking annoying.
What do you do for a living?
I am a clinical and forensic psychologist.
What's your educational background?
I started college at Georgetown University. I then transferred to the University of California, Irvine, where I received my bachelor's degree in psychology and social behavior.
I'm not gonna watch the whole thing. I'll probably watch it on my own, to be honest, because it's 7 hours, dude. That is a dank amount of time. Chat, guys, what's tomorrow, guys? Tomorrow we might watch it live though.
I completed my master's degree in psychology at Pepperdine University. I went on to complete my doctoral degree in clinical psychology at Pepperdine University.
Only need 3 minutes.
Which included several training rotations at different practicum sites. Those are essentially clinical rotations we do to learn various types.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Okay, guys, you need to see only the first 3 minutes. Why?
Of psychology, you learn how to do psychological assessment, counseling, etc., and you do that in a variety of different settings.
Why?
And then I completed a year-long doctoral internship at
What the
American
fuck?
Psychological...
This chat! Mommy Baba. Booba.
Exclamation mark drop.
Guys, these are all viewers from here, man. Mommy Booba. Jesus.
Association accredited doctoral internship. You do this year before you get your degree, and that was at Tripler Army Medical Center. It's traditionally a
that's
military
interesting.
internship.
Okay, boys. She's talking about the disorder. Okay, I'll watch it then after I'm done.
Did there come a time when you met directly with Ms. Heard?
Yes, I did. So in conducting my evaluation, I met with Ms. Heard on 2 separate dates.
Yeah, so is she cooked?
December 10th and December 17th, 2021.
I want to see what she has, actually.
How much time have you spent with Ms. Heard?
So the evaluation, we spent 12 hours directly.
Yeah, so guys, so she's. I mean, from the tapes, you can tell she's ill. I mean, I think a good percent of the population, if dissected and we're gonna see a professional, yeah, I think a good amount of people are ill. I mean, I think I have my, I have my own, small, maybe small ill, but what is she ill?
One another. However, there were more hours involved in the evaluation with some breaks. So we spent 7 hours together on the first day.
As a result of the work that you performed, did you form any opinions with respect to Ms. Heard?
I did.
What were those opinions?
The results of Ms. Heard's
listen to this
evaluation
song?
supported
I've put it on
2
repeat over-
diagnoses.
Well, I want
borderline
this.
personality disorder and histrionic personality disorder.
What's that?
Are you aware that Mr. Depp
Yes.
is on an audio recording years earlier taunting Amber Heard that she has a borderline personality?
Personality disorder is related by a pattern of excessive attention-seeking behaviors, usually beginning early in childhood, with inappropriate seduction and excessive desire for approval. Oh shit. Maybe I got some of that shit, man. Fuck me. Craving attention, pride of own personality, unwilling to change, excessive sensitivity to criticism, making rash decisions, rapidly shifting emotional states, low tolerance for frustration, or delayed gratification, blaming personal failures on others, Being influenced by this knows who treat them approved. Being overly dramatic and emotional.
Personality disorder?
I was made aware of that in this case, yes.
So you did, is that
Actually,
one of the audio
not
tapes you
necessarily
listened to?
taunting, but I do recall hearing
This
that
entire
Mr.
chat
Depp
has that
had
disorder.
used that phrase.
Would you agree that a disproportionate number of women are tagged with a diagnosis of borderline personality disorder?
No, that's not quite right.
What?
75%?
Guys, she's a tabloid. Guys, we don't even see this.
The way you phrased it is not
Amber
quite
Heard is
right.
like that girl
tell
who
me
is
what's
really
right.
hot, but
Okay,
everyone
so
avoids because she
there
smokes cigarettes.
are more women who have been diagnosed with bipolar disorder than men. It's more prevalent in women.
And trauma can cause borderline
Oh,
personality.
you just saw that. You're right.
No.
Never?
Right now, we know that there are people who have borderline personality disorder who have sustained childhood trauma. There are also people who have borderline personality disorder who have had no childhood trauma. So, like most personality disorders, and really like most mental health issues in general, there seems to be both a biological component. In this case, with borderline personality disorder, the research tends to support
It's reasonable.
a genetic component and possibly a neurological component. And then there is also possibly an environmental component triggering those genetic markers.
Would you agree
Jesus.
that if you did not find something that would be in favor of Mr. Depp and negative to Ms. Heard, that you wouldn't be an expert in this case? That I can bring
Essentially-
you into court if you're going to say that Ms. Heard is right and Mr. Depp is wrong, correct?
So as a forensic psychologist, my obligation is to the court, is to the fact finder. I present science regardless
said
of
what?
what that science may be. Now, when I take a case, my retainer agreement is explicit about that.
Guys, I wasn't paying attention when this was happening because I was pausing Paul. Sorry.